So here we are, getting ready to wrap up our second season at Arsenal Football Club. And we have the opportunity of a lifetime. A chance to win the treble. This is an opportunity that does not come around often in football, and surely does not come around often for Arsenal Football Club. A team that has never had the experience of winning the treble finally has the chance to achieve that dream. So here we are, running in the morning, doing our final preparations, and making sure we do everything in our power to achieve the dream of winning the treble for Arsenal Football Club. It's been a long season, a very taxing season on my body as I picked up another injury, but now the season is finally coming to an end and Karo has a chance to make history. And as we head into the final of the FA Cup, Arsenal will face off against Newcastle United, the team that we defeated in the Europa League final last season. Can we repeat that performance and win the FA Cup for the first time in Karo's career? Branthwaite on the ball. Are now able to head it to Karo, who finds Saka. Saka back to Karo. And Denis Karo crossing it in to Kilicsoy, who heads it into the back of the net. And Arsenal taking a 1-0 lead in the 6th minute of the FA Cup final. And that is a dream start for the Gunners. A wonderful, towering header by Kilicsoy puts the Gunners up 1-0 at Wembley. Karo passing it to Saka. These two linking up once again. Karo looking to make some magic happen. Passing it to Saka, and Saka sending it through to Karo, who bombs it down the right flank. Cuts in. Denis Karo on the ball, left-footed shot just wide of the post. Anthony Gordon passing it to Raum. Ferguson with a shot. Ederson with the save. Branthwaite passing it to Konate. Illich to Jolinton. Longstaff back to Branthwaite. Branthwaite finding Anthony Gordon. Karo with a terrible tackle. Gordon threading it through to Ferguson, who has a shot and brings Newcastle United back in this match. Terrible defending by Karo. And Arsenal now have some work to do. Karo with a roulette, getting past Jolinton, getting brought down. Advantage played by the ref. Karo back on his feet. Denis Karo on the ball, long shot, saved by Ramiro. Ederson rolling it over to Karo. Karo passing it to Saka. Bukayo Saka cutting back, unable to get the ball to Karo. Kraft. Terrible pass, intercepted. And Denis Karo having a shot. Blocked by Konate. Rabiot passing the ball to Karo. Karo threading it through to Watkins, who finds Kilicsoy, who smashes it into the top bins. The Arsenal striker putting the Gunners up 2-1 just before the half comes to an end. And what a match of football he's having. 2 goals for Kilicsoy. The Turkish man having a great night. Anthony Gordon cutting in, passing it to Jolinton. Zaire Emery passing it to Karo. Karo unable to find Saka, but Karo with an interception. Watkins back to Karo. Denis Karo past Konate. He's playing with Konate at this point. And Karo lobbing it to Bukayo Saka, who has a shot. Ramiro with a great save. Raum to Ferguson. Ferguson to Raum. Ferguson turning with the ball, having a shot. Anthony Gordon turning with the ball. Anthony Gordon still on the ball. Karo with a brilliant tackle. And here's Karo now, down the right flank. Unable to find Saka. Karo with a big touch. Karo passing it to Saka. Saka back to Karo. Karo finding Kilicsoy. Watkins with a shot. Whoa. Jolinton to Fabian. Isak turning. Isak shooting. Whoa, he beefed it. Karo with a touch. Karo on the ball now. Brilliantly, elegantly. Passing it to Saka, who finds Karo once again. Almost forgot my damn name. The adrenaline is high. Illich passing it to Fabian, and the match has come to an end. Arsenal have won the FA Cup for the 15th time in club history, and the first time in the career of Denis Karo. And with this victory, we complete phase 1 of winning the treble. And that is winning the FA Cup, of course, which we are gonna lift right here momentarily. And the team is just celebrating the wonderful victory. A beautiful performance by Arsenal Football Club. Sees the team celebrating as they are getting ready to lift the FA Cup. And look at the team just getting ready. Karo in the back of the line. As you know, Karo, a man who does love the spotlight, but moments like these, he chooses to remain humble. He can take a spot in the back, knowing that he gave his all to help his team win this trophy that they're gonna lift right here. And here's William Saliba locking eyes with Karo, lifting the FA Cup for Arsenal for the 15th time in club history. And look at what it means to the team. They're celebrating the FA Cup, phase 1 of the treble that we're so desperately craving. And here we are lifting the trophy one more time. And now Saliba's gonna run over to the fans with the trophy. And look at that beautiful, beautiful FA Cup trophy in all its glory. The oldest cup competition in football. And look at what it means to Arsenal. Look at what it means to the fans, what it means to the players, and look at what it means to Denis Karo as he can't keep his eyes off that wonderful trophy. And the fans going crazy because they know what's at stake. They understand that this is phase 1 of the treble, and we've gotten off to a great start in the treble running. We just gotta win our Premier League matches and hope to win the Champions League final. After a wonderful display at Wembley Stadium, Arsenal are crowned the FA Cup champions. And I want to show you the FA Cup in the trophy cabinet, but the job is not done as we have to host Brighton in match week 37 of the Premier League. Saka finding Karo. Karo with a big touch. Karo down the touchline, crossing it in unsuccessfully. And Brighton on the attack. Sima on the ball. To Moran. Moran getting stopped. Muller with the block. Boniface with the shot. Pereira. Right to Karo. Karo on the ball. Karo getting past 2. Almost past the 3rd. And Saka's going to help him get past that 3rd defender as Karo is through on goal. Having a shot. Unable to score. Rebound. Unsuccessful. Luna with another save. And Buonate with a long shot, but Ederson stretching for the save. Pereira finding Rabiot. Karo turning with the ball. Denis Karo on the ball now. Dribbling. Getting past 1 with ease. Karo now through on goal. Karo unable to get a shot off. Pereira turning with the ball. Karo down the touchline. In acres of space, down the left flank he goes. Karo cutting in. Denis Karo still on the ball, having a shot. Lunin is there with an easy save. And with just seconds left in this match, it looks like we're gonna have to go home and watch Manchester United play the very next day and see if they maintain their challenge. And the next day, we all watched at home as Manchester United drew another match, which kept them 4 points behind Arsenal with only 1 match to go, which means that Arsenal have won the Premier League for a 2nd season in a row, and Arsenal will have to lift the Premier League trophy at Selhurst Park. As Pereira heads the ball to Karo. Karo with an elastico. Karo on the ball. threading it through to Killitsoy, and Killitsoy smashing it into the back of the net, putting the Gunners up in the 6th minute. A wonderful goal by Killitsoy, and he's been playing great. As Rabio passes to Karo, and Denis Karo on the ball, leading the attack with an elastico on nobody, just showboating at this point. Still on the ball, left-footed shot, whoa, way over the bar. And Roxaki to Ilinikenya, and Ilinikenya back to Roxaki. Ilinikenya on the ball, threading it through to Gusto. Gusto with the shot, just blocked by Saliba. Ollie Watkins passing to Saliba. Saliba back to Watkins. Karo to Saka. Watkins finding Karo. Karo now assessing his options. Opting to head to goal. Karo cutting back, finding Killitsoy, who threads it through to Zaire Emery, who finesses it beautifully into the net. And Arsenal take a 2-0 lead on the final match of the Premier League season. Eze to Roxaki, and Roxaki lobbing it over to Ilinikenya, and Ilinikenya with a beautiful header, bringing Palace back into the match. And Karo with some scissors. He's running with scissors, and he's doing some step overs, and he's passing it to Saka. Saka back to Karo. Karo cutting in. Karo finding Watkins. Watkins smashing it, but unable to score. Ilinikenya passing it back, and here's Karo now on the ball. Karo still on the ball, through, on, goal. Denis Karo with a shot, and Denis Karo with another Premier League goal. And look at Karo just getting past the defense, smashing it and putting it into the bins. And Arsenal with a 3-1 lead with just seconds left in the match. Arsenal have won the Premier League in back-to-back seasons. We're just waiting for the ref to blow the whistle. Come on now, hurry. And the whistle has been blown. Arsenal are crowned the 2027-2028 Premier League champions. And look at what it means to these players, managing to win the Premier League in back-to-back seasons. A truly tremendous accomplishment for Arsenal. And with this victory, we have now accomplished 2 out of 3 of our goals to achieve the treble. And look at the Arsenal team gathering around, jumping, celebrating their victory, celebrating their hard-fought Premier League champion. And Saliba getting ready to do the honors once again. Karo opting to remain behind the scenes. A truly humble king right there. And look at the players getting ready to lift the trophy. And here's the club captain, William Saliba. He just lifted the FA Cup, and now he's gonna lift the Premier League for the 2nd season in a row. Arsenal managing to retain their Premier League title. And look at the team. And look at the away fans. 2 out of 3 completed for the treble. The FA Cup, the Premier League. And as we head over to the fans to celebrate and show them that beautiful Premier League trophy, we can feel the energy intensify. We can feel it in the air. Everyone knows what's at stake. We now have one more match of football left to complete the greatest accomplishment in Arsenal Football Club history, and that is completing the treble. And Saliba with one more lift as the fans go absolutely insane, and the team poses with the trophy. And look at those happy faces. Look at Karo lifting the fist. He's looking at the camera. He's letting y'all know there's more where that came from. And taking a look at the final Premier League standings, Arsenal finished at the top of the table with 85 points and a record of 25 wins, 10 draws, and 3 losses. And as we shift our focus to the final of the Champions League, we fly to Berlin, where we'll face off against Premier League rivals Manchester City. We've given everything we have to make it this far. We've defeated some truly incredible teams, and now it all comes down to this, the final of the Champions League in Berlin. Will Arsenal be able to complete the treble? Will Arsenal be able to win their first ever Champions League? Or will Man City claim their second in club history? And here's Karo passing to Saka. Saka back to Karo, and Karo finding Kilicsoy. Kilicsoy back to Karo. Karo cutting in. Looking dangerous. Karo with a shot and just over the bar. And Karo just looking down. And there's Pep. Watkins, no look pass to Pereira, who finds Karo. Karo brought down. How's that not a red? That better be a red. Come on, ref, give us an advantage. Come on. And after a tough challenge, Nico O'Reilly sees yellow in the 13th minute of the match, and Karo is limping. Rabiot with an interception. Kilicsoy passing it to Karo. Karo turning with the ball, threading it through to Kilicsoy, who's unable to shoot past Costa. A golden opportunity by Arsenal. Lacko finding Son. O'Reilly with a shot, and wide it goes. Rabiot finding Arnau, who finds Karo. Karo on the ball. Still on the ball. Passing it to Saka. Bukayo Saka cutting back. A beautiful pass to Karo. An arrogant pass, and Karo with a left-footed shot. Wide. And Karo brought down by Tchouaméni. But it's clean. How the hell is that clean? And Son with a shot, making Ederson stretch for the save. And Pereira heading the ball to Karo. Karo turning with the ball, finding Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery threading it through to Denis Karo with a big touch. And Karo on the ball, cutting in. Denis Karo still on the ball with the ball roll, having a shot and putting it into the back of the net. Denis Karo putting the Gunners up 1-0 in the Champions League final. And look at Mikel going crazy. Look at the Gunners going crazy. Denis Karo has scored in the Champions League final. And here's Rodri on the ball. Rodri to Mateus. And Saliba with interception. O'Reilly finding Jaden. Son on the ball. O'Reilly back to Son. Son with the shot. Ederson swatting it up. Rodri crossing it in. Ederson punching it away. Jaden on the ball, cutting in. Passing it to Son. Son turning. Right-footed shot into the back of the net. And Son has just brought City level. And now we have a football match to play. And here's Karo passing it to Saka. Saka back to Karo. Denis Karo with some scissors. He's running with scissors. He passes it to Arnau. Arnau on the ball, assessing his options. Lacko with a touch. Saka passing it to Karo. Zaire Emery with the shots. And Costa with the save. Very intense football happening at this moment. Tomlinson passing it to Kevin De Bruyne. And Kevin De Bruyne turning, passing it back to Tomlinson. Rodri finding Kevin De Bruyne. Jaden on the ball. Tomlinson passing it to Tchouaméni. De Bruyne to Tomlinson. Oh, this is wonderful football by Man City, and they're unable to capitalize. That was truly some elegant football by Pep's side. And Arsenal now on the counter-attack. Saka passing it to Karo. Karo trying to take touches, trying to get past the defender. Elastico laying it up for Watkins, who smashes it into the back of the net in the 83rd minute. Can you believe it? Arsenal taking a 2-1 lead in the Champions League final. And we have just 7 long minutes left of football. Lacko on the ball. Are now unable to clear it out. Echeverri cutting back. Echeverri on the ball, laying it off. De Bruyne And De Bruyne trying to do something, trying to make something happen, but he's unable to. Karo applying pressure. Tchouaméni on the ball. Tchouaméni doing ball rolls. Arnau is there to pass it to Van de Ven. And Bowie gets it out of there. Arsenal have won the Champions League for the first time in club history, completing a historic treble. The FA Cup, the Premier League, and now the Champions League have been won this season by Arsenal Football Club. A tremendous display of football throughout the season by this team. We truly deserve this treble. Denis Karo is slowly but surely becoming a legend of the game, as he has just helped Arsenal win the treble. And look at Arsenal celebrating the Champions League victory, and look at the team getting prepared to lift the Champions League trophy for the very first time in club history. Arsenal's name officially etched on to the Champions League trophy, stamped in the history books, and William Saliba getting ready to lift the third trophy this month, as Arsenal have been crowned Champions League winners. And Denis Karo and company can truly hold their heads up high, as they have just achieved one of the greatest accomplishments there is to achieve in football. Arsenal have done well to win the Champions League, but the fact that we have managed to win the Premier League and the FA Cup as well is truly a historic season, as Will Saliba runs over to the crowd and shows them that glorious trophy for the very first time in club history. Arsenal can say they have won the Champions League. Denis Karo, Bukayo Saka, Saliba, the whole damn team, we all had a part to play, and because of our tremendous team performance this season, we have won the treble, and Denis Karo is now a Champions League winner for the very first time in his career. And look at Karo as he just looks at the camera. That is a man who is hungry to win more in football. And as we head over to the team bus parade, look at Arsenal celebrating their treble in all its glory. The bus even says treble winners. Well done, EA. This is what I'm talking about. This is peak presentation right here. And the Arsenal team riding around on the open top bus, celebrating and showing the beautiful trophies that they have won this season. The Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. A truly historic season in Denis Karo's career, but the season is not over yet for Karo, as he has to now set his sights on winning the Euro Cup with the Netherlands. And just taking a look at Karo's trophy cabinet as he adds the Premier League for a second time, and the FA Cup for the first time, and the big one right there, the Champions League trophy. This trophy cabinet's starting to get full in the best way possible. And just take a look at all these trophies in that trophy cabinet. And now the question remains, will Karo stay at Arsenal and win more Premier League titles, or will we move on? Only time will tell. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. This has been Denis from Climbing Wall Gaming. Have yourself a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.